I'm against the way they approach this process.
I think we understand. Thank you. Mr. Martin, our highway director.
Two things. One on the bids, truck bids. Selking International had a bid of $84,945, single axle. Stoops Freightliner, $90,835, difference of $5,890. What I had to do at that point is make sure that Selking met all of the specifications, and they did. Had two meetings with both Jordan and Kevin Woodward, giving each one a chance to say their piece. Jordan obviously didn't have very much to say. Kevin a little, but he knew that there wasn't anything there that he was going to make up that kind of difference with. So in those two meetings, Kevin walked away saying, "I'll get him next time." So good for him.
Michael, what was the first price on that? $84,000?
$945.
Okay, thank you.
And the second was $98.35.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, $58.90. And that took care of the trucks. Then we had W.A. Jones in at $55,487. We had an option for a stainless steel bed if we could afford it. That would cost us $3,984 difference. Our whole goal here and everything we were buying was to stay at $150,000 or under, basically. And the pressure washer we had talked to you guys about, trying to fit into that, to fit under $150,000, came to $6,939.84, and that actually totaled then $147,371.84.
Okay, so you're going without the stainless steel bed to keep the price lower. So is that the price of the 55.47?
No.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have given you that number of the stainless steel bed at $39.84, but it's $147,371.84, and then if you get the stainless steel bed, which we want to.
You did go with that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked that over with Kevin, Tim, and also twice with Denny from W.A. Jones. It's very, very close in taking it or not taking it, quite frankly. But in taking it, it brings the total price to $151,355.84, $1,355 over. That obviously would be our money. MVH money would pay that. We're getting a lot there for the $150,000 of seated dollars plus $1,355 of our own money.
What was the advantage of the stainless steel bed?
Good question. The stainless steel has a much less lower tensile strength. In other words, if you're going to put riprap in there, river rock, concrete, things like that, you would dent it, bang it up, and it probably wouldn't last very long. The reason you would want this is because of the action that you have with salt, calcium chloride, and that kind of thing. The other beds don't last very long. A normal bed will get eaten up, or you end up putting just as much money back in trying to sandblast it and clean it out a couple of times. Then you put more money in than this $39.84 difference. The other truck, it has more strength. You can put riprap and that type of thing in it, but it's going to decay pretty fast from the salt action, that kind of thing. So when it got done, I was talking with Denny, it really came out about 6 one way, half dozen the other. It depends what you're going to use it for. And that's why I brought Tim and Kevin in, to say, if we get this, we do not want this to be used anywhere where there's gonna be concrete, heavy rock, riprap, that type of thing. It'll be used just for general 53, 73s, general stone, which is fine, and then obviously more for, one of the trucks we would use more for putting out salt, calcium chloride, sand, that kind of thing. Since we don't have that, and we don't have one, we thought for people in the future, probably 15 years down the road, this bed will still be here where the others will be gone, or you would have to get rid of them. So I think it's a real good buy for down the future, for those running the highway at that time.
Do the other counties use stainless steel?
Yeah, a lot of counties buy just stainless steel, and they'll go both ways. They'll take their chances on whether the bed decays, 10, 15 years down the road. But you can't put any kind of heavy rock in it. It's just a lower gauge, and you'll end up damaging that kind of bed. So.
No comment.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Second thing, we've been asked by the Humane Shelter to, they would like to park at the highway on a Saturday. I believe it's the 13th. They must have something going at the shelter, and they're going to have an overrun of cars down there. Instead of parking on the road, they'd park exactly where our drivers park, right up there in that top corner closest to the Humane Shelter. I didn't want to tell them yes automatically because of possible liability. I've had this come up over a lot of years in the past, and it's usually just a call of the commissioners and county attorneys. So I thought I'd better bring that to you guys also.
I think we better have them sign a waiver saying that the county is not responsible for any damage
Okay.
or anything to their vehicles and things. Have them sign it.
Okay. I can make that up and have them sign it.
Do we have any kind of waivers, do you know of?
Not that I'm aware for that, yeah.
Okay.
Things like that.
The 13th of what, April?
Yes. Yeah, I'll work with you on it then, and we'll get something for them to sign. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
On the truck, the total cost came to $144,416. The power washer at $6,900. Was that part of the CETA plan?
The what?
The power washer?
Yeah, Don asked twice in here during county commissioner meetings, and he says, okay, I want to make sure because we have to make that part of the CETA plan. And so twice we mentioned it in here and said, okay, yeah, we want it to be part of the CETA plan. He said, good, we just have to have that down.
Okay.
So it has been mentioned twice in here. It should be in the minutes. If it's not, it should be.
Okay. Thank you.
That was one of those. It's a very good high pressure washer. They had a really cheap one over there, and it sat back in the garage in a corner. It wasn't taken care of as well as it should have been over the years. This one will go in the garage with Kevin. It'll actually be mounted on the wall. It's got a big diesel engine to it, and it's on a retractor, so that the hose won't be laying any place like that, and Kevin will be in charge of that every time that it's used. So it'll be washed and used and should last forever.
So that isn't on wheels or anything?
No. It'll actually be mounted on the wall and up in the air higher, and then a retractable hose, which we bought an additional, can buy an additional 100 feet. And so just rolling outside the garage that type of thing. But for cleaning underbodies, that kind of thing, when they come in the winter, instead of the guys getting under and trying to work on things that are dripping, you know, putting a brand new snowplow blade on or something like that, they can also use this in the winter, clean everything off underneath. It's all very high pressure.
Okay, thank you.
This will be used for trucks not in the repair maintenance area. Say they've been out doing whatever, they come in dirty, muddy. I think it's always good to have your equipment cleaned up, looking nice. And so this can be used in the summertime in case they get real dirty, that it just won't be used when the truck goes in for repair.
Absolutely not. It's going to be used
Okay.
all the time on all of the pieces of equipment. We had last year even one time where our sealing machine, where we had pea gravel going through it, and any pea gravel comes from in the ground, and we have them wash it 2 or 3 times, so it's very clean when you use it. But there were times where when that pea gravel went through and ended up on the belts underneath, they got very, very dirty from the dust and some dirt that's carried. And this type of thing will be very good at cleaning those belts off, getting down underneath and inside. It's all obviously for cleaning the trucks, keeping the trucks very clean. Each driver will do that. But on the pieces of equipment that come up, Kevin will be using it to clean everything off, you know, inside, outside, on everything that he works on.
How's it driven?
It's a diesel engine.
You're gonna have that inside with no way to get the fumes out?
It is. It's, I forget what you call that, but it will be, yes.
It will be what? Yeah.
It'll be hooked up to go outside, whatever that's called.
Vented.
Then thank
Vented
you.
out.
Yeah.
Because if they're in there in a closed area, we want to
No.
be sure that
We wouldn't let that happen. Kevin is.
Funnier things have happened, Mr. Buck.
Okay. Look,
This isn't an April Fool's joke, it's a serious joke.
okay. Kevin, and you know Kevin.
I know
Kevin
Kevin.
is very, very good at what he does.
Okay, yes he is.
And I've had him with me right from the very first day that we went and looked at this. And everything has been looked at, talked over with the people that we're buying it from. We've gotten quotes. You know, it's not just one guy, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And he has checked out everything. Tim is pretty good at his job. Tim's been right there in case there were any questions, and mine mostly has been dealing with money specifications and that kind of thing that I get involved in. So I think we've gone over just everything on that. There won't be anything like that.
You know the difference between one sitting in the corner gathering dust and one on the wall? Not much. So be sure it's in a place that can be used. We're spending $7,000 on a piece of equipment, and kind of like that repair thing we have out on the highway that fills in our chuck holes and things. It has to be used, and
This-
we've been using it lately, and I appreciate that.
This will be right in the, in fact, it's going right in the very center of the garage, and Kevin has looked over exactly where he wants it, where the best place is to use it all the time. And, you know, I know you guys will be out. I know you'll be out to see where it's at and how much it's used, and it will be used all the time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
Okay.